because they like to claim this and that. You know what I'm saying? They like to be above what they really is and have authority. But they don't really need that authority. They don't really know what to do with that leadership. You understand? You hold hands with this boy, your ass need to stop and ask you to give a damn what you talk about. Don't give a fuck what you believe, nigga. Gotta stand up and serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. Yeah. See, everybody ain't with all that peace talk. Everybody ain't with all that let bygone be. Boy, your ass need to stop and ask you to drop. It's about to get serious. When they hit us with dope and kill us with crack, where the fuck with your leaders? I'm curious. He cashed out on your blood, traded you in and bought a new biz. Ask you the profits, I tell you the scheme. If you don't wake up, you gon' die in your dreams. I say you won't tell you no more. I swear these crackers try to kill us slow. Just spoke to a nigga in Fed, he up on parole because of the COVID. It feel like the hoes in this world that don't go together. Know that it's gold in the ghetto. I'm in the city blazing with my niggas. Just told the devil the score never settle. Yeah, the props. I'm tired of these niggas keep talking about, you know, you respect my religion, I respect your religion. Boy, your ass need to stop and ask you the props. You know, like
I'm Captain LeBron, Boys Life School of the Weekend, the Commander Your Honor, inviting all black supporters and Indians out to the 5th annual Fire Weekend.
Shalom Israel, come to the Fire Weekend, man, in Chicago, Midwest Fire Weekend, you know how we get down, July 21st to the 24th, we're going to be in Chicago.
Step back from the flames, you got a lot more to lose, man.
Under the Midwest Mosque in itself, captain of 13,000 North
July 21st, we got 12 children behind us, the description breakdown class, followed by Captain Tadariyat and Captain Katazan with Cross the Line Radio.
You know what I'm saying? We got the Bantu Festival coming back. We got the election coming. We're going to kick off the election with Captain Ash, Captain Katazan, and Kazak Yad. It's going to be called Fort Columbus County.
On the 24th of July, we're going to be doing the Black and Brown Unity Cookout. Shalom Israel to all my blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. From July 21st through the 24th, we're going to be holding the Midwest Fire Weekend. On July 21st, we hold a scripture breakdown with none other than 12 Shield General Muhammad from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m., followed by Cross the Line Radio. On July 22nd, we're going to be having camp on the Magnificent Mile from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. And guess what? Commanding General Yohana will be speaking at 3 p.m. We're going to be located at 401 North Michigan Avenue, Chicago, Illinois. After that, we're going to have the Before Columbus Came lecture from 6 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. located on 9909 Roosevelt Road, Suite 100. On July 23rd, you can catch us at the Bantu Festival from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. We're going to be located at 1130 Midway Place Science Park, Chicago, Illinois. And then last but not least, we're going to be having the Black and Brown Unity Cookout from 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. located at Douglas Park, 1200 West 12th Place. For more information, call 708-299-5821. Again, 708-299-5821. Also, if you would like to help out and support this troop and brotherhood, go to the Midwest Fire Weekend Black and Brown GoFundMe account and make a generous donation.
We all come together. You know what I'm saying? They say God so loved the world. God so loved the world, and no, your ass need to stop and ask you. Give a damn what you talk about. Don't give a fuck what you believe, nigga. Gotta stand up to serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. Yeah. Hey, gentlemen, y'all, we don't pray on our knees, nigga. Gotta stand up. You know what I'm saying? Boy, your ass need to stop it, ass shit. Oh, but step, I'm solid for show. For the fake niggas, stay silent, I got it, let's go, let's go. I ain't taking no loss, ain't no token when we got the flow. Ain't no peace, just play with your own. I'ma be loyal to the right arm. Tell him we can't keep it slave. And I can never let bygone be bygone. Got you. Baby mother on high, your baby pass through the fire. Ain't she the prophets? That baby soul belong to the Lord. How dare you abort it? Therefore a failure, bitch, I can afford it. I prepare slaughter, you bring me my water. Push your leaders weak, let them lies slip through their teeth. Their ass need to stop it, ass she the prophets.
That's just the reality, Christians. I'm sorry to hurt your feelings. I know your pastor lied to you every Sunday for 30 years, but that's what the church is for, lying. That's why they exist, to lie the money out of your pockets.
Boy, your ass need to stop it, ass she the prophets. Give a damn what you talk about. Don't give a fuck what you believe, nigga. Gotta stand up to serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. Gotta stand up to serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga.
See, y'all think it's just about us in here, but this is about an oppressive, fucked up system designed to keep niggas down and shit. Y'all wouldn't know nothing about that. What about you, little nigga? You know about that?
Yes.
Oh, you know about that? Tell me what you know about that. Tell me what you think about that.
I turn up when it's real in the field. This for my niggas that kneel on the field. Light-skinned nigga, you gon' find me in the field. House niggas looking at a nigga like chill. I go hard when it's real in the field. This for my niggas that kneel on the field. Light-skinned nigga, find me in the field. I don't give a fuck how a house nigga feel. Belly of the beast, we been living in hell. They like, damn Kai, how could you tell? Put us in the project, set us up to fail. Round here, bullets be flying like hell. Too many of my niggas either dead or in jail. Make a nigga work when you locked in a cell. Can't find work when you out on bail, but your homie got the work, so we passed you a scale. Got them birds like the Bible got quail. Niggas selling out cause they mama got bills. Turning to coons like Oprah and Gail. How you sell your soul just to get a little kale? They put you in a dress when you get a record deal. Wanna see a nigga getting high on pills. You can dance on a pole, you can sell that tail, but they never tell a nigga that he can go to Yale. We all created equal, that's white males. All lives matter, not black males. Another mother crying, another coffin got a nail. How many brothers out here got killed? How many of our sisters out here gotta heal? How many more caps gotta get peeled? We beef with each other so quick to pull the steel. George Zimmerman still alive and well. I turn up when it's real in the field. This for my niggas that kneel on the field. Light-skinned nigga, you can find me in the field. House niggas looking at a nigga like chill. I go hard when it's real in the field. This for my niggas that kneel on the field. Light-skinned nigga, find me in the field. I don't give a fuck how a house nigga feel. I turn up when it's real in the field. Feel. This for my niggas that kneel on the field. Feel. Light-skinned nigga, you gon' find me in the field. Feel. House niggas looking at a nigga like chill. Chill. Yo, chill!
The industrial complex is a system situated at the intersection of government and private interests. It uses prisons as a solution to social, political, and economic problems. It includes human rights violations, the death penalty, slave labor, policing, courts, the media, political prisoners, and the elimination of dissent.
They just want us to die in silence. They just want us to die in silence. They just want us to die in silence. I might start me a fucking riot, slave rebellion. No compliance, they just want us to die in silence. They murder minds like they got a license. I pray for the coronavirus to kill all of these violent tyrants. They prey on us like they poaching lions. World War III's on the horizon. Black and Hispanics form alliance. From the west coast to the islands, this pressure is making diamonds. They've awakened sleeping giants. I turn up when it's real in the field. This for my niggas that kneel on the field. Light-skinned nigga, you can find me in the field. House niggas looking at a nigga like chill. I go hard when it's real in the field. This for my niggas that kneel on the field. Light-skinned nigga, find me in the field. I don't give a fuck how a house nigga feel. I turn up when it's real in the field. Feel. I don't give a fuck how a house nigga feel. But feel.
like this little nigga.
1 West, 12 tribes, UPK. Yeah. I'm a 1 West rapper, no half stepper. Cross that path at the camp, you know better. UPK, I'll die for those letters. I'll ride for those letters. The squad is forever. Ever since a nigga was young, I knew what I wanted. Knew that we could either be hunters or with the hunted. Meaning only choice was the predators or the prey. Shortest man wherever I was, but I didn't play. Then I started spitting that fire to every stage. Rap gave a little bit of buzz, but it didn't stay. Then I started hustling, getting at some bread. I always went broke, making sure that my niggas fed. But then I looked for loyalty, niggas, they wasn't there. The same that I shed blood for, and it wasn't fair. But fuck it though, turn they back on a real nigga. It's when I found UPK and I'm still with them. Drill with them, cause I've been in the field with them. Fringed up garments, rocking the shield with them. I never turn traitor, I never let my colors slide. Never get my brother's book. I ain't like that other guy, nothing like them funny groups. They just better get in line. If you in the middle, you confused, you should pick a side. Me, I must stay loyal to the king till the day I die. Am 1 West, head beating in my chest. Fuck all the rest, we stayed, y'all left. Suckers ran scared, had to clean up y'all mess. That's why we took over, I can see that y'all stressed. We ain't got time to worry about no hater. My life is like a movie, should come with a narrator. They gather data, they wanna see us assimilated. Marching through the streets, know we coming, you hear our cadence. All you smell is Henny and frankincense is the fragrance. Cause I'm a 1 West rapper, no half stepper. Cross that path at the camp, you know better. UPK, I'll die for those letters, I'll ride for those letters. The squad is forever. I'm a 1 West rapper, no half stepper. Cross that path at the camp, you know better. UPK, I'll die for those letters, I'll ride for those letters. My squad is forever. It's forever. Squad is forever. When a nigga in this mode like I get so hyped, shining blinding like a strobe light. I'm my only calm, so I battle me back and forth nights. Like a bullfight, I see red charge and destroy might. Gave me foresight, so I know that winning the war might have them all tight. Fuck their feelings, cause they the soft type. I was always taught never turn your back on your brothers. Take on any enemy, know the strength in these numbers. UPK official, and ain't no coward among us. Don't make me go and bang with them sticks like I'm a drummer. How y'all gonna run with the style that we invented? You always talk the war was wild, but you never in it. All that coulda, shoulda, woulda. I see how you try to spin it. The way my soldiers move out, you think that we got evicted. It's 1 West in the building, we owning it while you renting. Lyrical exercise in the booth is my Planet Fitness. Words move you like calisthenics. Bars heavy, so when I bench it, I'm building up a hardcore. I flex when I'm finished. And right after a light workout, it's back to business. Group sick of UPK, cause we the illest. I got one question, will they ever stop hating? Waiting on this war so long, I'm salivating. Niggas turn bitch so strong, I call them Caitlyn. I get the green light, let's go, no hesitation. Y'all just been holding our spot like reservations. Now we back to work while you suckers still on vacation. Mixtape singles and even collaborations. They smiling in the face, but I know I see aggravation. You ain't got to hide it though, you fucking mighty cone. UPK bringing that heat, you know the fire's on. It's 1 West. Cause I'm a 1 West rapper, no half stepper. Cross that path at the camp, you know better. UPK, I'll die for those letters, I'll ride for those letters. The squad is forever. 1 West rapper, no half stepper. Cross that path at the camp, you know better. UPK, I'll die for those letters, I'll ride for those letters. The squad is forever. It's forever. The squad is forever.
Yeah. Go ahead. Come on, West. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Look, I keep it low to the T. UPK play for keeps. Ain't shit sweet. Got soldiers on deck, and my youngin' did a sweep. This a whole nother way. Tell him get the fuck off the beach. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us, he a breach. Nigga, come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us, he a breach. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat, man. This shit is too easy. I'm on gold, but they don't believe it.
You know I'm winning with the team. Screaming Vinny, 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 Beach. Hear them devils screaming out bloody murder. I'm about to close the curtain. Mama grind, bitch, and work. Sorry, all them lies, it ain't working. Them niggas weak, cause they be churchin'. I'm a West nigga, that's for certain. If he cross the line, I'ma back up and I'ma hit his ass with this virus. And I come through 300 strong, 144 Leonidas. All my niggas we eat. I'm in this bitch with the itis. Say all y'all do the sweet. Dang, y'all do the sweet. The nigga made the wrong move, he make his ass obsolete. He ain't one of us hit the lead. He ain't one of us here preach. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas go retreat. Go ahead. Look, I keep it low to the T. UBK play for keeps. Ain't shit sweet. Got soldiers on deck, and my youngest did a sweep. This a whole nother wave. Tell him get the fuck off the beach. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us here breach. Nigga, come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas go retreat. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas go retreat. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us here breach. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas go retreat. You see this look that's on my face, bitch, I'm for real with it. I hit the streets, put on my cleats, was in the field with it. You soft as cotton, just an actor, Uncle Phil with it. And then my target's on the move, but I can still hit it. Hey, I speak true cause it's necessary. Gullah Jack revolutionary. Cold on them like January. Commander General is a visionary. Soul food, no sweets. Your preacher man, he's sweet. Matter of fact, he weak. It's wartime for peace. Think you hard, nigga, you ain't. Fuck with us, nigga, you can't. You smart cars, we pace. We form up in ranks. We body bag this rap shit. All black, no bright shit. Real life, no cap, bitch. Fall on them, that's cap shit. I keep it low to the T. UBK play for keeps. Ain't shit sweet. Got soldiers on deck, and my youngest did a sweep. This a whole nother wave. Tell him get the fuck off the beach. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us here breach. Nigga, come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas go retreat. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas go retreat. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us here breach. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas go retreat. Go ahead.
One West is to raise, son. That's where I came from. That is my A1s. I'm talking day one. Rest of these niggas out here is just fake, son. Look, you can hate, son. You cannot take, son. I've been in every hood out of my state, son. Out in these streets, I'm steady blazing. Looking to cut a nigga like I'm Jason. I am the one. This is the Matrix. Going so hard that they think I'm an agent. Going so hard that they said I'm a Mason. These are the facts, though. I'm just amazing. There is no other way that I could stay them. I earn my spot, they'll never be vacant. These niggas lazy. They got them blazing. They wanna level these fucking Caucasians. How the fuck we gonna rebuild our nation? You niggas feminine. Go get some makeup. Sorry, but my love is only for Jacob. We had some hard days. We learned some hard ways. Always. Just know that I pray that we get it out the dust. Only thing that I trust, knowing that my niggas gon' bust. That's thumbing up the rush, thinking that you won't get touched. Fuck when my brother get crushed. Been through too much, always come through in the clutch. Nigga just do what it does. Fuck you thought shit was. 'Cause nigga, it wasn't.
We going live. Clap it up. Here we go. We back. Alright, Shalom Israel. Y'all Bashim, y'all Shabbat Katham to the brothers. Y'all Samal Atam Bashim, y'all Shabbat to the sisters. We are the ISUPK, the Israelite School Universal Practical Knowledge, established in 1969, 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. We are led by Commander General Yahan. Get ready for the Midwest Fire Weekend, man. It's going down July 21st through the 24th. July 21st through the 24th in Chicago, man. You want to go to Windy City UPK on Facebook. You can get all the contact information you need right there. Follow us on Facebook, like, share, subscribe to the content. No Cowards, Minnesota. and we're gonna get this class started today. Topic of discussion is gonna be about 4th of July and how for us being enslaved by the people who are free, how this would be cultural appropriation. Technically for us, this would be cultural appropriation. If you are a so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, and you are celebrating 4th of July with our oppressors and their kids and their babies and their grandkids, you are culturally appropriating their history, a page out of their books. Because when they were celebrating their freedom from when Edomites were battling Edomites for their Edomic freedom, we were in their dungeons. We were in their cellars. We were chained up like livestock. We were in the stables. We were sleeping on the floors. We were eating the crumbs that they so kindly and so generously provided for us. So that's the inception. Now for 4th of July, for them, go celebrate it. They worked hard. You know how many people they had to kill to get their freedom? How many wars they had to fight in? How much blood they had to shed? How much work that must have taken? Golly, like they put in a lot of work to have their freedom, to have a memorial and a day for them. Let them have it, because it doesn't apply to you. If you so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, it don't apply to you. You weren't in consideration during that time. When that Declaration of Independence was wrote, we were still 3/5 of a man. And even though word for word, it'll say all men were created equal, you were not part of that equation. In context, they were talking, all the men that are in league with them. Those men, which were colonial, Anglo-Saxon, Caucasian persuasion. Shout out to Tarap, Pink. I can't put it quite the way that he finesses it, but it was for their life, their family, their kinfolk. It wasn't for us. And even though we've had some victories, the Haitians against the French, the so-called North Native American Indians and so-called Mexicans against the colonizers of America, and against the French and the British in some cases, I think. I have to double check on that, but we never had exact freedom against our oppressors. They were able to establish a beachhead, colonize lands, that whole coast, and build a kingdom and gain their independence from their bank. You know what I'm saying? Like from the people that gave them permission, from their origin, from their source, from their former leaders, from their former oppressors too, I guess you could say. Because I mean, they were tyrants even amongst themselves. So while they're celebrating, getting ready to celebrate, you already got the firework tents out. You already got deals on decorations and food and advertisement going out for the 4th of July. While they're getting ready for that, just keep in mind the same things that we've been talking about. Slovakia. The same things that we've been talking about. Does that work? Slovakia, 1 second. I think we're good to go. The same things that we've been talking about with World War III and all the signs of these end days. In the middle of a pandemic of damn near a recession, unemployment, what? Look at them go. I see you. They did not forget to hate you. They did not forget to murder you. You on the bar, sir. Come. This reminds me of Ghost Rider. You probably way too young for that, but anybody that remembers that show, yeah, or the beginning of the Matrix at the very least. But in the middle of all these globally affected issues, they did not forget to hate you. They did not forget to murder us in the streets. You do. All right, come. All right, come. Used to love that joint. And it like nothing changed, man. Nothing changed. And they're gonna make it seem like, you know, we're at this, you know, point in, you know, history that's unprecedented. You know, all this interracial relations, which is an abomination to the Most High. You don't necessarily really care about what the other nations do, but because they were never given that ordinance and that order to separate. But if you look at the culture of the other nations and how they govern themselves, they don't even want interracial mix. Even different tribes. You got so many Caucasian tribes out there. You know, Russians, Ukrainians, Yugoslavians. They might all even be the same. I don't know. But they don't even want each other dealing with each other like that. You got the so-called Jews out there, which in truth are being anti-Semitic. In truth, that if you're not of a Jewish stock, they don't want you marrying their daughters or their sons either. So even amongst themselves, even amongst their own race, they don't want that going on. And you know, and they would almost consider that interracial relations. With us though, it seems to be a trend. And then you brothers, man, you get like the dirtiest, biggest tax, biggest income tax check equivalent to the mass of that pig. Like y'all, I'm embarrassed to even like that secondhand embarrassment, man. Like y'all doing bogus, man. Y'all doing these people bogus. You pick the nastiest of the nastiest of the nastiest of people, and you wife it up. And on 4th of July, you're gonna do it again to celebrate something that don't belong to you, to join yourself to a culture that has nothing to do with you. When we have our culture outlined in these scriptures, and we're gonna get into this real quick. It's like in 1 second, just to highlight one other precept. We're gonna crack this open. Here we go. All right, so we're gonna kick this party off with Zephaniah 2:1. Gather yourselves together. Yea, gather together, O nation not desired. And they're gonna pretend to love you. They're gonna pretend that everything is cool because realistically they just want, you know, they want everybody to love them. I was having a conversation with a brother when that Asian cat got murdered, and you know everybody rallied on that point. It wasn't just, and he brought up a very good point with this. It wasn't just that his own people's community and the fact that his countrymen, you know, had a voice in that matter. Everybody rallied on behalf of that Asian man dying, getting put to death. And when it happens with us, I mean, you for lack of a better term, it's like so we bitch and moan about it for a little bit, but ain't nobody coming to our aid except for our oppressors and their stock, their seed, their kids, and the majority of them, if not like, I mean, like we're talking like 99% of them, Slacky. They're only there to be like, you know, I was there in the fight too. You know, I was there at the protest. Slacky, sir. That one dog. I crumped with the brother too in the face of the cops. To show some type of relevance or relation or empathy to our plight. And we're about to do the house nigga thing, man. Like for real, like we're about to spend so much money and give up so much of our resources for all this overtime that we're about to work just for this. The fireworks, the food, the drugs, the murders that are gonna ensue on 4th of July. Statistically, let's even try to look this up real quick. Actually, Slacky, I'm gonna let y'all do that at home. We're just gonna keep on building up on these scriptures, but look up, all the murders, the trend, how that trends on all their holidays, especially on things like 4th of July, Independence Day, New Year's, Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmases, like all their big major holidays. Look how many murders are committed in so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian communities, because we tying ourselves to their custom, their culture. They ain't got nothing to do with us. We're gonna buy up all the drugs. You're gonna get as drunk as you possibly can. You're gonna fight everybody that you know. You're gonna sleep with everybody you don't know, or everybody that you too familiar with that belong to somebody else. You about to cross some lines in about a week. What is it, the 28th? In about a week, man. Watch that body count stack up. And we've been talking about this since 1969. We've been bringing this out. I mean, if you want to get real, thousands and thousands of years ago, we've been bringing this out. That's why it's important for us to gather together so we can start talking about how to heal our people, our nation, to cater to our needs, and find our culture so that we can leave theirs alone. So again, Zephaniah 2:1, gather together, yea, gather together, O nation not desired. So one of the main parts that I want from this is, when I skip over to verse 3, seek ye the Lord, seek ye Yahweh, is how that would, the Most High name would have been in there. Seek ye the Lord, all ye meek of the earth, which have wrought his judgment. That's a very important key phrase right there. Who have wrought his judgment. And we're going to discuss that in a second. Seek righteousness, seek meekness. It may be ye shall be hid in the day of the Lord's anger. That's like the second half to it. So now with that, get these ads. I'm going to jump over to Amos chapter 3, verse 2. And there's a number of these that you can look at. But to kind of pinpoint where I want to hit home on is this. So Amos chapter 3, verse 2. You only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore, I will punish you for all your iniquities. So we were given an ordinance. We were given a culture, customs, rules to follow. Ye only have I known among all the families of the earth. So that's got to contradict John 3:16, right? Since it's talking about, the whole world, for God so loved the whole world. But now people are going to argue that this is, in the Old Testament. The New Testament, everything that the New Testament was based off of came from the Old Testament, came from the priests and prophets that came before them, the records that we had from the Old Covenant. Therefore, I will punish you for all your iniquities, the iniquities that we commit, the people that he chose. This is a very important concept to wrap your head around. Psalm chapter 147, verses 19 through 20. He showed his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments. There's that word judgment again. So if you go back to Zephaniah chapter 2, Zephaniah chapter 2, verse 3, seek ye the Lord, all ye meek of the earth, which have wrought his judgment. He only gave his judgments to a certain people. We are the only ones who have wrought his judgments. Now you're gonna see different contexts and how they want to try to delegate punishment and ownership thereof. We're the only ones who are given this covenant, who are given this contract, so to speak, with the Most High to follow through. Everybody else is just reaping the repercussions of their actions. And this is why we are told not to follow in the way of these heathen nations, because that's just going to get you killed. Dealing drugs, doing drugs, dealing with different people on a marital level. Our laws with the workforce, community guidelines, agriculture, even problems that we might have, within the nation. Everything that they're doing, we're seeing the repercussions of that. Like they're living through that. No sweat. That you're just reaping what you sow in that sense. We were told not to follow in their customs because we were given a different set of laws and standards to live by. So we get punished just as much, and particularly from the Lord's anger, we get punished and targeted by the Most High, because we were the ones that got His judgment. So we are the ones that are going to suffer His judgment. That's a very big key concept to wrap your head around. So, like, real quick, let me just shout out everybody in the chat. We got up here Trooper Kawan Yala, shalom, brother. Sister Maraka Pak, Yashakar, shalom, sis. Shield of Truth, Magan. Jesus, it's like, let me just get the full name. Shield of Truth, Magan. Charles Amat, ISUPK, shalom, brother. From Cowes, Minnesota, I don't know who that is. Shalom, Madawana. So Zephaniah 2 and 1, man, we need to come together so we can discuss all these issues that are on the table that keep us divided. And we need to seek out the Lord, because we are wrought of His judgment, man. And His judgment was only given to us. We're going to show the difference. It's very clear cut throughout these scriptures, throughout these records, that there is a separation between the peoples. Amos 3 and 2. Ye only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore, I will punish you for your iniquities. We're the only ones who could qualify for, having iniquities against the Most High, because we're the only ones that He ever dealt with. Psalm 147, 19 and 20. He showed His word unto Jacob, His statutes and His judgments unto Israel. He hath not dealt so with any nation. As for His judgments, they have not known them. So if they want to be homosexuals, like, the Most High ain't gonna punish them like He would us for being homosexuals, but AIDS will still pursue throughout their communities. HIV, all types of manners of nasty ass STDs, that's still gonna run rampant through their communities, because that's that cause and effect of being nasty, of being dirty, of it's not that, how would I say this? They sinning against the natural laws that the Most High had set. And people want to make stupid comparisons, like, you'll see a male dog humping a male dog. They're dogs, bro. They're dogs. They are very simple, very base creatures. They're dogs. They'll hump the couch. They'll hump a stuffed animal. They're dogs. You don't find homosexuality in other species. You'll find and what's the word? Not asexual, I don't think it is, or androgynous. So like, I can't think of the term, but like it's not a natural thing to have happen, and especially amongst us that have a higher consciousness and knowledge of the outcome of wrong and right, cause and effect, good and evil type thing. People, a dog wouldn't know how to cook up crack, let alone, if you're selling crack, how evil that is to, the other dogs. But we do. We understand that. And again, that's something else that was pushed on us from an outside influence. That's nothing that we came up with as a people. We just made it famous. We just made rap songs out of it. It's like it to the sister. Last year, 233 were killed from gun violence, 482 traveling, 19 from firework accidents. The water says great stats right there. 233 people were killed or were murdered from gun violence. Chances, all right. So the chances of you being influenced under, under drugs or alcohol, got into a problem with your best friend, 9 out of 10 times over a bitch, slack you, sir. But like over a female that you shouldn't have been trying to talk to or holler at. Hell, even maybe accidental gun deaths. Somebody drunk, stupid, playing around with a pistol blows his head off, or blows his friend's head off, or his son, his daughter, his brother, his sister. Happens all the time. But again, during these holidays, it picks up so much more. Shalom, I don't want Yabasum Shabakta. I don't want preaching officer 5,000 Maccabi. Preaching officer 5,000 no cowards of Kudash. Let's get it. But that's a great point, sis. 482 from traveling, just going to and from. And this is across the board. This is kind of a general consensus, I think. So, like, if you could clarify that, sis, if that's more of a general consensus or if that's for us. I think it might just be, just in consideration of everybody. Just the traveling alone, almost 500 deaths. 18 from firework accidents. But you about to blow yourself up on 4th of July. Your dumb, high, drunk ass is about to blow yourself up. Your uncle is going to blow himself in the smithereens. And ain't nobody telling them not to do it. General across the country, all right, kind of watch this. But now again, we gonna partake in these things that they ain't got nothing to do with it. You about to eat all the pork, cook all these unlawful foods in celebration of something that you don't have. That's the other dumb part about it, man. You ain't got what they got. They freed themselves from their tyrannical oppressors. Their own brothers. They freed themselves from that pressure. You don't have that. If you so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, you don't got what they got to be celebrating what they celebrating. That's part of their culture and their history. That might be one of the very few original customs and celebrations of these devils that they just that they specifically have. But now we're also talking just over here in the Americas. That doesn't apply to Britain, Russia, the Netherlands, Iceland, Canada. It doesn't apply to them. This is a whole different sect of Edomites celebrating this. But that might be the only original kind of custom that they have, tradition that they have that they didn't steal from everybody else. And we're about to join hand in hand with them, thinking that we are afforded the same liberties. We're not. We're not. And if we keep on playing these stupid games, again, we are going to receive his judgments, who is only given to us. Now we got to keep on separating this difference and keep on defining it and defining it. Go to Genesis chapter 3, verse 7. And the eyes of them both were open, and they knew that they were naked. And they sewed fig leaves together and made themselves aprons. Now that naked was not a physical naked. They just saw that there was a difference in the way of life between us and them, between their people and our people. And this is talking about Adam and Eve, our great grandfathers and mothers. But back then they were just living life under the law, statute, commandments that the Most High had given Adam. That custom, that way of life, that breath of life that he was given, that he, shared with his family. But after eating of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, they had learned that's them interacting and taking influence from other nations, and not just sticking to what they were governed by. So now when they sewed them fig leaves together, it's like, and made themselves aprons, that's them trying to fit in. That's them just trying to fit in now. Because now they see that there's a difference in between them and everybody else. Now they're just trying to fit in. Verse 8, and they heard the voice of the Lord God walking in the garden in the cool of the day. And Adam and his wife hid themselves from the presence of the Lord God amongst the trees of the garden. Now, people might think and tell a story that, you know, it was only Adam and Eve that were in the garden and a snake. Without knowing the truth, that snake was an individual. That snake was a human being. And these other trees of the garden were other people, other species, other groups of people. Just like you got different breeds of dogs. Yeah, you got different breeds of cats, of snakes, of bats, of ants and spiders and birds, like of the same families. Even like they were just different breeds of humans. And now we just trying to fit in with them because we see a difference, and we don't want to be different. We don't want to be ostracized. So we sold them fig leaves on, and we walking in the garden. It's like, and we traveling around, and Most High kind of looking for us. Like he's seeing that we're not trying to make a difference between us and them. He made that difference between us, but he's seeing that we're not trying to. It's like you. Verse 9. And the Lord God called unto Adam and said, where art thou? Verse 10. And he said, I heard thy voice in the garden. I was afraid because I was naked. So it's like, now that's the point I want to end off on verse 9. And the Lord God called unto Adam and said unto him, where art thou? So again, that's us acclimating to other people's culture. We were culturally appropriating other people's way of life back then, because we didn't want to be separated from it. Because now we be looking at us like, well, damn, that's different, that's new. I didn't know that everybody else was doing all this. You know, it looks good, it sounds good, seems exciting, and we're looking at our way of life like, all right, well, there's something else out there. Let's go see what that's about. So the Most I asked him, like, man, where you at? Like we even talk like this today, like, you know, some of our day one brothers and sisters, like all of a sudden it's like you don't recognize them. Like you know them your whole life. So you like you could spot them in a crowd of 1 million people. But because they decked out to look and operate and move and sound and talk and walk and celebrate and live like everybody else, you looking at it like, man, I don't recognize you no more. Like, who are you? Like, you changed, bro. That's how the Most High was, you know, looking at us. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we abandoned the mission. Like, we, you know, we were given something so beautiful, a difference between us and them that made us unique, that we gravitated to, that we just, you know, like magnetically clicked to. And we gave that up to be like these people. Look at what they've done to the earth. Look at their lifestyle, man. We gave up everything. A whole kingdom. We gave up paradise to be like them. And we about to do it again, man. We about to do it again in about a week. We about to do it again. We're gonna gear up this entire time. Overtime and hustling, stacking up on fireworks and drugs so that you can damn near get yourself murdered, you know, just for that one day, for an Independence Day, for a 4th of July, an Independence Day that don't belong to you, that you do not reap the benefits of. If you're so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, seriously, sit down and ask yourself, what benefits of their 4th of July do you receive outside of drugs, alcohol, a free trip to jail, A free trip to the mall. A free guilt trip. Hell, I mean, it don't cost nothing but a couple bullets, a couple hot shots. You know what I'm saying? A couple grams. You're not afforded the same luxuries as they are. Their holidays ain't got nothing to do with you, man. They were making money and celebrating and, you know, pouring out champagne while you was in a cage. Coincidentally, they got us still in cages on the border towns, in those so-called detention centers, on the so-called reservations. They still got us enslaved out here. And they still celebrating 4th of July, Independence Day. And they about to make like billions of dollars off your dumb ass, man. Salaki. Salaki, but we know this. We know that places like Walmart and you know Sam's Club and Costco's and this, that, and third, we know that they are about to make serious bank off of us. Just off of us. They're gonna make bank regardless just because of their people and all the other nations that are gonna you know, hold themselves Confederate. And we gotta do this again. You're good at select. We know that we're about to just fuel their economy, feed their economy. We're about to stress out over this shit too. If we don't have fireworks, boy, if you don't bring that packet of hot dogs, if you ain't got some paper plates on the 4th of July, you will be shunned and ostracized from your family. And they are going to make billions off of this. All the fireworks. All the glitz and glamour of a day that historically we do not have, you know, a good results from. We don't have a good track record from this shit, man. We are going to fill up the prisons. We are going to fill up the morgues on days like 4th of July, Thanksgivings, Christmases, New Year's. We're about to give them damn near what they want. All of our love and affection and attention to fuel their wants and their desires and their needs. And all the extra stress that comes with being a goddamn slave that we don't even see. The way that this is going to tear our family apart year after year. Somebody's going to lose somebody that they love in a week. Somebody is going to OD in a week. Now, yeah, these, I mean, general kind of predictions you could say, but I mean, we've been there for so long. As a drug dealer, like, you know, back in the day when we were back in the world, like I can speak for a number of people that I know too. Back in the world, you know, we made some money on these days. We made a lot of money on these days. So did every police district and every penitentiary and every coroner's office and every morgue, every hospital. The things that we do for their love that kills us. You know, we talk about this in some of the other topics about how their kingdom was established off of our blood, sweat, and tears, off of criminalizing our actions. You know, damn near making laws that target our movements, our way of life, criminalizing us, you know, enslaving us, imprisoning us, you know, and making money off of us fighting each other, making money off of that, filling up the prisons and filling up the hospitals and filling up the morgues and all the tombstones and shit that they bought because of us. I remember hearing this one story from a brother Oh damn, where was it? Damn, Salaki. I can't remember if this was from Cross the Line Radio episode. Damn, Salaki. I can't remember who I heard this from, but you know, this one brother was talking about his mom had you know, bought two grave plots. Like after his like brother died, I'm paraphrasing the story in Salaki for who this belongs to. I don't wanna mess it up at all. But you know, his mom had prepared, like bought their tombstones and their grave plots ahead of time. Because they just knew. They just knew, like this is the culture, this is the maze that we stuck in, that we can't find our way out of. And the answer's right here. And I know it's hard to look at because of how this is being used against us. But most people, like for real, most people don't know the Bible. In spirit, they know the slave Bible. They don't know the Bible. They don't know these records. They don't know this history. They know the damn, I just had the word I mean, they know how history has paraphrased history. They know some of the they know like some of the stories, I guess, like, you know, in 10, 15, 20 years, you know, some of these new kids, they're gonna have heard about slavery, but they're not gonna be taught about the transatlantic slave trade. They're not gonna know the history of South America and the Caribbean islands. They're not gonna know about all the boarding schools up in Canada and all along the northern border between, you know, United States and Canada, with all the boarding schools on the native reservations. But they're gonna hear about reservations. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna know the overtones about some of the shit. They're not gonna know the truth about it though. So again, like they're gonna know, they're gonna be more familiar with the spirit and the concept of the slave Bible, but they're not gonna know the Bible. They're not gonna know what actually gets put into this. And the sister's right. A lot of Gadites are scared of the Bible. They believe nothing good comes from it. It's very sad. It is. And with the history that's been given, you know, I can't blame them. You know what I'm saying? Like it's been rough. Like all they got was, again, that slave Bible version of the truth, of their own. They got. Damn, man. You know, this is messed up. Salaki. They got. And it's their culture. Like this is the part that's so messed up. It's their records. They've got a biased narration of their own records from their oppressors, from that Catholic Church, from those Christian missionaries. They got a biased narrative of their own records. And just look what it's done. That bastard, that dirty pig, that Pope, that dirty bastard, gonna offer an apology to the Canadian, to our brothers and sisters up in Canada, to the tribes up there, man. Some feigned garbage, BS apology. Ain't nobody gonna go to jail. Ain't nobody gonna be held responsible. You're gonna get an apology for all the thousands of brothers and sisters that came up missing, that still come up missing on the reservation, because ain't nobody out there protecting them. That's why we need the UPK or the Commanding General Yana, damn it. This is why. Because ain't nobody else gonna care about us but us. But in 1 week's time, we're gonna care about the freedom of our oppressor. that we're not going to receive any benefits of. Like, we are dumb. We are stupid without this truth. And we're going to get into that part too. We're going to get into that part too. And he said, I heard thy voice in the garden, and I was afraid. Verse 10, Salaki. Genesis chapter 3, verse 10. And I was afraid because I was naked and I hid myself. That's what we're about to do. That's what we've been doing damn near every day in America, man. Every day around all these holy holidays that they got. Birthdays, Christmases. God damn. We in the middle of the Pride Month. Well, not in the middle anymore, but you know, they made this the Pride Month. Juneteenth, I heard again, Juneteenth up in Minnesota in the Twin Cities was weak as hell. Weak as hell. Nothing but Edomite, oppressive, bland ass food and vendors and tourists coming by, checking to see if we good, just so that they can say they were there at the Juneteenth festival. Sooner or later, man, this can become their thing. It's embarrassing. And we love it. We love it. We give them all our money. We give them all our money. And the brother's damn, Salaki. I can't remember which class this was. I was just talking about it. When it should be the other way around. Actually, Salaki was Otto on Tarak. Last Tuesday, I believe, when he was teaching a class. Otto on Tarak. Who was saying like it should have been reversed. Like we should have been charging them 20 times as much, you know, ticket charge just to get into the door. We should have only allowed our people to have vending booths there, selling our food. And we should have charged them $50 for a burger. Brother, for you, man, you got a couple cents, you got a nickel or something like that, and you got some lint left over. Because we gonna make 100% more off of them because we're gonna charge them like crazy, and that's gonna deter them from coming into our functions. They ain't got no business being there. Like that's a spit in the face. They are about to bank off of us celebrating their freedom, and they got the audacity to walk into our venues and make money off of us. We were feeding them. Look, damn, man, Salaki and Torah, man, he brought it out heavy. We were making them money on a day that was supposed to represent our so-called freedom here in America. Like, we are dumb without this truth. We are fools without this truth. And because everybody, just wants peace and love and flowers and, God damn, like, everybody's so tired of fighting. Boy, where'd the spirit come from? Like where'd that go? How did we lose that? They made money off of us on Juneteenth. Just say that to yourself if you could. Our oppressor made money off of us on what should have been celebrated as our independence from our oppressor, our freedom from our oppressor. They made money off of us. Make that make sense. And our oppressor is about to celebrate their freedom, their independence from their oppressor, which was their own people. And they're about to make so much more money off of us. It's like, what does this say? A so-called national holiday, yet no holiday pay. No. So it's like my slavery, like I'm about to, they're going to pay us for the 8 hours. And then I'm going to get my normal rate of pay for the additional hours where I work on that day. So, it's not time and a half. In a sense, it kind of would be because they're just giving me the 8 hours. But no, like sis, yeah, you're right. Like they about to clown the shit out of you, bro. They about to play you. They gonna make so much money off of you, and you gonna think because that check gonna look good, where are your dumb ass about to dump all that money back into their economy, driving their workforce? Now, granted, some of our people are going to make money off of that in a sense just because of the paycheck that's going to be given to them in their captivity. On Black Wall Street, it took about a year for $1 to circulate outside of our neighborhood, man. Think about that. Take that one in. But before these colonizers came, I mean, we dealt with each other, bartered goods and services. I mean, we had a good thing going. Simple way of life. That was grounded in something. You know what I'm saying? Albeit we had kind of lost our identity, like, which can't even say that. Because all the excellent work that Captain Katazai had done with his books, showing how for the longest time we knew that we were Israel here in America. The ghost in the machine, I got you. But they about, again, we just continue this damn cycle. They about to bank off of us. They made money off of events, off of vending events that should have been ours. No holiday pay for Cinco de Mayo. It's a lot. We'll get back to that in a second. It's a lot. But no, she right. Like we're not gonna get any we didn't get any special. Juneteenth wasn't a day off, and I think that's what. Yeah, that's what sister was reflecting. The so-called national holiday, get no holiday pay. Nobody got Juneteenth off. I don't think. Which was messed up. All right. So I was going to the bank. Because I had to work on Juneteenth. I was going to the bank in a heavily Edomite demographic, area of the city out here. One of the suburbs. None but Edomites out there. Ain't none of us out there, man. None but Edomites. I was going to my bank. On the bank door, it said, "We are closed in observation of Juneteenth." Ain't no brothers working at that bank in that community. If anything, you might have some so-called Africans so-called Africans, I'll still say that. Hamites. You might have Hamites that work there. But they don't benefit from, nor do they have any history of the Juneteenth, historical markers or, that culture. They ain't got nothing to do with it. But that bank was closed in observation of Juneteenth. Ain't no brothers and sisters working out there as far away as we were, like from the city. There no brothers and sisters working there. But they had off for Juneteenth in observation of Juneteenth. It's like what the sister say. No holiday pay for Cinco de Mayo, no. But everybody's Mexican on Cinco de Mayo, though. Juneteenth, Indigenous Day, nothing. We still think they care for us. They don't. She right. And we're gonna hold hand in hand, skip and jump around and sing Kumbaya and share all these needles and all these bottles and all these hoes with on 4th of July. Spend all this money to boost up their economy, their infrastructure on 4th of July. Their independence, our oppressors' Independence Day. We about to make them rich. We about to make them filthy rich. If they're so independent, why the hell do they need us? That's what I want to know. Why are we still, such a factor and so targeted the way that we are to fulfill their wants and their needs? I mean, why else? If you got slaves, why are you gonna do it yourself? Duh. Again, man, like we silly, just to put it in a nice way. We dumb. We're being foolish about this, thinking that they actually care something about us. We're not them. We are supposed to be something completely different. That's why the Most High had set us up to be something completely different in Genesis. And then after we started mixing and mingling with them, then we saw like damn, like we're not them, they're not us. Because if you go into Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6, for thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God. That's possessive. Our God, our power. The Lord thy God. Not the Lord, their God, not the Lord everybody God. The Lord thy God. And that's not subjective. Or, well, no, it is objective, but it's not like subjective to an individual's understanding of the scriptures. Because, somebody else could be sitting and reading that and they're going to think, well, God damn, they talking about me because they're saying the Lord is thy God. Don't thy mean, my, like they talking about me, the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God had chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth. So each individual must be just so filled with pride and happiness that the Lord thy God had chosen him, just you, to be above all people, to be better than your kids, to be better than your parents, to be better than your spouse. He chose you to be better, to be above all people that are upon the face of the earth. And don't that sound good? Like that sound real good. That sounds amazing. That's just not the case. Because in the Bible, the Lord has illustrated many and many and many times who he put his name on. We're about to get more of this. And you can read, I'm going to give you kind of the reference points, and then we're going to jump to, I'm going to refer actually back to Psalm chapter 147, verse 19 and 20. He showed his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. That is a group of people that he has chosen to separate from everybody else. He hath not dealt so with any nation. As for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye the Lord. And that might seem like a harsh thing that, we're the only one that gets his judgment based off of what we read in Zephaniah chapter 2, verse 3. Because we wrought his judgment. But you'd be a horrible parent if you did not discipline the children if they break your rules. Second Ezra in the what they would call the Apocrypha. So now, if you've got the King James 1611 edition, I don't know if that comes out the same way or if that's going to be backwards. But if you get this brown cover book, you can get on Amazon relatively cheap. That'll have the Old Testament, the Apocrypha, and the New Testament included in this. Otherwise, if you just kind of get the standard, just kind of get the standard King James Holy Bible, the King James Authorized Version, it'll just have the Old Testament, New Testament, and then you have to get the Apocrypha separate. So now you can go to Barnes and Nobles. You can get them both online. Still relatively cheap. The #1 best-selling book on earth for a damn good reason. The Quran must be crying itself to sleep every night, being used as Tinder and a leveling platform for some of our tables and chairs in the school. But these are just, historically accurate truths, culturally accurate and appropriate truths that we need to come to terms with as a people Because, you know, if anybody else, then, and, you know, Salakia, sir, if you know it off top, I'll look it up in a second too, though. But the paraphrase of scripture, Salakia, in a second. If the Most High had tried to communicate this with anybody else on earth, any other nation, any other group of people, they'd have been like, yes, bets, let's go. And they'd have been kind out of one kind, except for us. You try to tell so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian man, woman that they God's chosen people, are like, no. They're going to fight you on it. Fights have literally been broken out over this, over these conversations. When it's in the records. It's not words that we got to make up or history that we got to fabricate. It's in these records, and they are historically backed. Again, Captain Kataza has done an amazing service for us to bring these troops out and to show the damn, what's the word I'm looking for? The agenda propagated by our oppressor and their cohorts to subvert this truth, to suppress it, to try to keep us in the dark. There's so many different conspiracy theories clouded around the Bible that makes people second guess what it is. You'll never know what this thing is until you're here, until you live it, until you are surrounded by it. You ain't got no choice but to look at it for what it is. It's either it's gonna scare you, it's gonna humble you, but it will set you free. It will make you free. We'll talk about that part too. Little sidebar: autocorrect changed Juneteenth to Juneteenth. Essentially, actually, it'll be a weeping and a moaning and a gnashing of teeth. Maybe that ain't all mistake. But yeah, Second Esdras reflects the same spirit and sentiment of Deuteronomy 7:6. Second Esdras chapter 6, verse 56. As for the other people, which also come of Adam, because after the flood, when the known world at that time was reset, you know, where the known world of human habitation was, when that got reset, the survivors that everybody on earth had sprang from would have descended from Adam and Eve, because it still followed that bloodline. Now, say the women weren't of even, all right, so at that moment, maybe you could have called Noah like an Hebrew. I don't even think you could have called him that, because that wasn't labeled until Abraham. You know, so like I'd have to check in to see what his designation would have been. But even if his sons' wives weren't of that same stock, which I believe they would have, because that's what they got taught from Adam. Again, that's how Adam knew, or it's like Noah knew how to separate the clean from the unclean animals. Again, the history of it, it's not as confusing as people made it out to be. It's like, sir, all right, come. It's come. I got you. I can't quite think of it either off top. It's like the water. The history and the narration that people have been given, again, it's in the spirit and connotation of that slave Bible. They're given certain scriptures with a certain context, outlining certain situations and circumstances that it's applied to. When again, like they don't know what they're talking about. They don't know how to deliver this truth. They don't know how to describe, break down any of this. They're like they need to keep their hands off of it. But though, again, the groundwork that they put in, you gotta give them a little bit of respect for that. That they put in some work to keep you murdered. They put in a lot of work to keep you painted as criminals, And they're putting a whole lot of work to get their freedom and their 4th of July while keeping you enslaved and not forgetting to hate the shit out of you while they're so busy trying to make all your money. Like, I mean, they multitasking the hell out of this situation. Out of all these holidays. They're about to make so much money off you. I don't want to keep on insulting us. But, you know, as a people, our stupid damn selves, they're about to make so much money off of us. And we're just going to give it up for them, man. Because it's easier to just, you know, go along and get along. It's easier to just stay high and intoxicated and just go with the flow because, you know, that might keep people nice around you. That's also going to let them predators target you. And even if it's not like them physically harming you and taking advantage of you, spiritually, like they already got you. They already got you toe tagged, man. And there's little progress that we've made again to separate ourselves from it. Because even the people that are so-called woke in that conscious community, they're about to pop off some fireworks. They're gonna join them parties. They're gonna be doing drugs up there too. They're gonna be sleeping with some devils and some dogs too. The same way the people that are just asleep are gonna willingly participate in that. These people who are so-called woke, they're still gonna willingly participate in that, but they're gonna think that they got the knowledge of, you know, the difference, you know, that this ain't our freedom, this is our oppressor's freedom, but I'm gonna still eat this, you know, this pork chop. I'm gonna still sleep with that drunk dog over there. We're still gonna get high. And in doing so, you're not making a difference. You're sowing a fig leaf upon yourself. You're not making a difference in between yourself and these other people. God did, though. The Most High did make a difference in between us and them. And it's, you know, it's gonna take people outside of their comfort zone. They're not gonna want to leave the stable. They're not gonna want to leave the cellar. You know, Commander General Yanni used to bring, you know, make such a good point when he would talk about the justice that needs to happen in America because everybody wants to be equal and, you know, let the passes being passed. And, you know, if we're to see equality or justice for the crimes that were committed, wouldn't our oppressor, you know, have to go through the same things that we did? But our people don't even want that. They don't really want justice like that. They don't want to leave the basement. After our oppressor had, you know, kicked our father's door open, murdered him, took all his assets, all his money, and created a kingdom, a castle out of that house, locked you in the basement, had kids, and, you know, gave your inheritance to his seed. And then, you know, after, you know, it should have been your next generation. After so long, he finally, you know, unlocks the door, lifts up the latch, and says, "Hey, you know, come on up. You know, you can come up to the main floor now." We so used to this. We don't even want to come up out the basement no more. There ain't no fighting us. Ain't no desire for that separation. Like we just want to get along with everybody. And that is very weak. That is very weak. Because that whole getting along did not prevent our people from still being murdered out there by their hands. Even though, you know, we're supposed to all be equal. You know what I'm saying? We're supposed to all be, you know, on the same level. Everybody love everybody. Because God is all love. Shit, show me that. I haven't seen it. Like God is a man of war. Like he will get down like a brother, like in the gutters, like, you know what I'm saying? Like And there's time for war, there's time for love. Right now, we are not in that time for love with our oppressors, with all these other nations. We're not in a time of love for 4th of July. That's not the season that we're supposed to be. That's not how we should be feeling about all this. But again, we're gonna take that little crumbs. We're gonna work that little bit of overtime. And we're gonna ignore Isaiah chapter 40, verse 17. All nations before him are as nothing, and they are counted to him less than nothing. And vanity. Vanity means empty. Zero, not like no substance. All the nations before him are as nothing. That counted him less than nothing. Now you can even say that includes us too, because we ain't as grand as the Most High. But even if we were nothing and were counted to him less than nothing, so like here real quick. As for the other people, which also come from Adam, come of Adam, thou hast said that they are nothing, but be likened unto spittle, and hast likened the abundance of them unto a drop that falleth from a vessel. That's in 2nd Ezra chapter 6, verse 56. So even if we are, described in that same nothing as Isaiah had quoted, so let's get 57 too. This will kind of show. So like in 1 second. All right, here we go. So start at verse 54. So 2nd Ezra chapter 6, verse 54. And after these, Adam also, whom thou madest Lord of all thy creatures, of him come we all, and the people also whom thou hast chosen. So again, there's a difference being set between everybody that came from Adam and then the chosen people that came from Adam. Verse 55. All this I have spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou madest the world for our sakes. Now, John 3:16 is so exclusive to everybody and their mama. So I can search and hit that continue button real quick. Continue. Go just that was it. John 3:16 was so clear cut as to be so inclusive of the entire world. Like you gotta be able to break all this down, because thou madest the world for our sakes. There's a separation in that. There's a function behind it. The world that was made for our sakes. Again, if you look at 54, and after these, Adam. Then what was it? Yeah. And after these, Adam also, whom thou hast made Lord of all thy creatures. Adam was set on top to rule, to take dominion over the earth, over all his creatures. Now, if you go into it, human men, we were considered creatures too. And Adam was set as the Lord of all thy creatures. Psalm 55. All this I have spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou madest the world for our sakes. We were given dominion over the earth. Verse 55, verse 56. As for the other people, which also come of Adam, thou hast said that they are nothing, but be like unto spittle, and as like in the abundance of them, unto a drop that fall from a vessel. You know, you got a big old 5-gallon bucket that you trying to, you know, carry from the watering hole back to camp or something like that. You might have to go uphill, downhill, walk through the trail, you know, stones and branches all over the place. Be a dip or two in the road. You might stumble or something like that. You know, the bucket might knock against something, or just even the motions of it. Unless you are like walking so stiff and dead ass still, like getting a workout out of it. There's gonna be motion in that bucket. You know, a couple drops fall from it. That's nothing, man. That's nothing. Some of that might not even make it off of the bucket necessarily before it even hits the ground. But even if you got enough to make that little drip go all the way down and fall off the bucket, it's still counted as nothing. That's not enough. That's not what the Lord's attention is going to be drawn to. That drop that fall from the vessel. You don't care about that. It's like unspitable. Verse 57. And now, O Lord, behold, these heathen. Take us to today's time, man. These heathen. Behold, these heathen, which have ever been reputed as nothing. These other nations, which have ever been reputed as nothing. Reputed, their reputation, their history, their description has only ever been reputed as nothing, have begun to be lords over us. We about to celebrate our oppressors' independence and freedom. At a time when that was established, we were their slaves. We were ripped apart by horses. We were locked up in their dungeons. Stocks and bonds is what we were. Behold, these heathen, which have ever been reputed as nothing, have begun to be lords over us and to devour us. Now, we're not talking about cannibalism, even though technically and historically, legitimately, they did cannibalize us. Now, they're going to talk that same jargon about South American tribes, you know, having been cannibals and things like that before. Me personally, I got to do more of the research on that, but like they used to try to paint an ugly picture of us to report back to their kings and queens and to their who they were subservient to get the permission to colonize and to do a hostile takeover of our communities, of our land, because we were such dirty, vile, and disgusting. I mean, human sacrifice and cannibalism, like. These are godless men. We gotta take them by force. Even though when Christopher Columbus had first met so-called Native Indians up here in the Caribbean islands, his report was like, these are the kindest people I had ever met on earth. And then he followed that shit up with, we gotta put them in slavery. We gotta enslave them. It's like, I'm paraphrasing, it's like for the language, sir, but he's saying like after how nice we were to them, how accommodating and how cool we were. We gotta enslave them. We got to. We'd be fools if we didn't. And of those, was it the 1800 Taino brothers and sisters, so-called from the tribe of Ephraim, that he brought over on that voyage back to it's like I can't remember if it was to England or Spain, whoever he was ancient to at that time. Talking about Christopher Columbus, whoever he was ancient to at that time, I think it might have been Spain. We lost 1,100 people on that voyage. 1,100 brothers and sisters on that voyage. Came back with 300, 800 people. 800 people, 300 people, something like that. They still called it good business. It didn't really cost them much, and they got hundreds of people to be slaves, to build for them, to grow crops for them, to be their sexual slaves. That was worth a lot more than what they had lost and what they spent on that voyage, because they found a pipeline that they can go and just exploit. And they did. These people that are reputed as nothing, that's exactly what they did. And we started getting to the point where we damn near became accomplices. You know, selling each other out, stabbing each other in the back for a little bit of glory and riches and fame that's eventually going to run out. And then you're just going to be fodder again. When you think about how many of us had tried to live under their ideology and just the damage that that's done to our families and our communities, you'll see just how true the Bible is and how it draws a very clear and concise and linear path between, you know, the circumstances, the situation that we were living in back then, all the politics, bureaucracy that they were trying to, you know, sweep it all under, and how they're doing the same thing to us now. Nothing changed. Nothing changed. Just some of the names, some of the locations. Now, you know, just now we got iPhones and you know, VR sets that keep us so sedated. That we are just willing, all too willing to just give it up and just to get along, just to get along. We don't want to fight, you know, because everybody's supposed to love everybody. The Spirit of God is all love. And like that, to me, that's one of the stupidest things that could have been said ever. Like whoever made that original quote, like, you dumb. Like that, it's not true. And look what we're about to do under that pretense. We are about to sell ourselves short, man, when we have our own history and culture to pay attention to. But as for the other people, which also come of Adam, thou hast said that they are nothing but be like unto spittle, and as like in the abundance of them unto a drop that fall from a vessel. Verse 57. And now, O Lord, behold, these heathen, which have ever been reputed as nothing, have begun to be lords over us and to devour us. These people that ain't, it's like for the language, but these people that ain't shit, they ain't shit. They become over us. They're not the athletes that we are, but they own all the teams. They're not the inventors that we are, but they own all the patents. They're not the musicians that we are, but they own all the record labels. They're not the actors that we are, but they own all the film and production companies. You know what I'm saying? They don't have this style that we have, but they own all the fashion and clothing lines and jewelry lines. We make them famous. We aid in their superiority when they are only ever reputed as nothing. But they over us now. Verse 58. But we, thy people, again showing that difference, that God chose a people and we were recognized as that. When them small hat, curly Q fools start talking about how they God's people, don't nobody argue with them. Don't nobody even blink an eye at them. Muslims don't. Even Muslims don't, who are, you know, count themselves so much better than everybody else. Even Muslims would never deny them what the Bible and the Quran supposedly had given them. Even though it's talking about us, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. But, you know, they took our heritage. And as the modern day would look at it, those are, you know, God's chosen people. Don't nobody argue with them. A lot of that is because of that whole Holocaust situation. You gotta pity them, otherwise you're anti-Semitic and you're gonna be Nick Cannon, you know, getting your show cut off, and now you're scrambling, still kissing the white man ass, looking for a way to apologize, and, well, you know, without seeming like a punk, but, you know, without, you know, still making them happy. I don't know what their deal was. I don't want to think too much into that, because I think they may have done something extra to that brother as a penalty. But this, I mean, that's the world that we live in. But again, verse 58, but we thy people, whom thou hast called thy firstborn, even though we were the last nation that was birthed. At the table of nations, you got 18 nations. We were technically the last nation to have been pushed out. So outside of us, all these different, you got all these different races of people that exist. And people don't like using that term race or your species or breed or what have you when it's talking about humans. Because we all supposed to be about the human race, but that's garbage concept too. Whom thou hast called thy firstborn, thy only begotten, and thy fervent lover are given into their hands. So all these different attributes and designations of again of being chosen as a separate people, everybody else just wants to cling to that. God ain't got a chosen people. It says it right here. It said it in Deuteronomy, said it in Esdras, said it in Psalms, Isaiah. But that's not good enough for him. Verse 59. If the world now be made for our sakes, so again, if we go back to 55, because he had given the lordship of all thy creatures to Adam, dominion of the earth to Adam. If the world now be made for our sakes, why do we not possess an inheritance with the world? Why ain't we running the earth? Why ain't everybody else subservient to us? If we you know what I'm saying, if it was made for our sakes, why ain't we the ones running it in authority of it, making all these crucial decisions that all these other nations are making that are proven to be very detrimental to humankind in general? You got the global warming, you got pollution, man. How do you mess up the ozone layer, man? We are a small thing on the face of the earth. How do you be messing up the ozone layer and all these in the oceans and all these lakes and rivers? Like how can you mess it up that bad? But God's supposed to love everybody, man. God ain't gonna love you. God ain't gonna love somebody that's gonna do something like that to his creation. That's why you gotta keep yourself separate from him, man. If the world now be made for our sakes, why do we not possess an inheritance with the world? How long shall this endure? Which actually brings another quick precept real quick. How long shall this endure? Now you're supposed to endure to the end. I'm gonna grab that one too. Matthew 24:13, but he that shall endure to the end, the same shall be saved. Don't worry about how long it's gonna last. It's gonna seem like forever, no matter how long it actually is to you. Like you could come into the truth right now, and then within an hour, the Most High can come back, and then boom, it's the end, and now our kingdom, starts getting transitioned into play. You're still gonna think like, man, that took too long, man. What was I supposed to do in the meantime? That took too long, so I just had that last cigarette. I just want that last joint, or I only smashed that one girl that, just that one more time, and then I'm done. But he that endure, and it's talking about she also, in the context of how this is written out. But he that endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. That's gender neutral. That's not. I almost feel bad for using that word now. Salaki. I'm trying to make no confusion. But it's a unisex word, I suppose. Might be the politically or clear way of saying it. But he that shall endure until the end, the same shall be saved. So if the world not be made for our sakes, why do we not possess an inheritance with the world? How long shall this endure? You're focused on the wrong thing. And that's going to lead to doubtful disputation. That's going to lead to a lack of faith. If that's what you're going to focus on, just focus on enduring until the end. Take all their hatred, take all of their demands and orders and all their rulership, all their boundaries and all their everything that they implement that's in complete opposition of us. Deal with it. Bite your tongue. Get through the day, man. Endure until the end, and the same shall be saved. Then what was the other one I wanted? Man, Salakia. I'm glad I put that one, but there was another one too that I was trying to get at, but Salakia can't think of it off top. Yeah, man. How do we not possess an inheritance with the world? We don't till every damn near every stitch of land. Well, that's an exaggeration. A lot of places just ain't inhabitable. But we had put in so much work for this to live righteously, to rule the world, and they have raped, robbed, and murdered their way to the top. Completely going against the natural order of the way of life, which has brought that flood on in the first place, going against the natural order of human relations. Homosexuality is a sin. Interracial marriage is a sin against the Most High. And that's in these records. So I just want to read over one thing real quick. Select one second. Do a different one real quick. John chapter 8. Select, I think somebody got a little backwards. But again, we're going to celebrate something that don't belong to us. For the people that rule over us, we're about to celebrate their independence. When they made money off of a day that was supposed to be our so-called independence. Something that we had, celebrated that was supposed to be, such a great thing, and it's supposed to join everybody together. What you did? And it's meant to keep us, and again, just subservient to them. So I mean, I've only actually seen like the Juneteenth celebrations a few times. I mean, they were all pretty weak, all of them. Even in Milwaukee, where they had on like a larger strip, it was still weak in spirit. And again, for the most part, like you see a lot more like Edomites up in those functions as vendors, selling product or food to our people. On a day that don't belong to them, but they gonna make money off of us to fuel their people, their nation, their economy. But we're about to give them so much more money back. On a day that has nothing to do with us. But you're gonna get high with them. You're gonna sleep with them. You're gonna dance around and sing and dance with them, and everything's gonna seem all nice and Honky dory, pun intended. In reality, man, the Lord hates you. The Lord hates you for that. Well, I should say He's angry. He's gonna be angry with you. You're gonna end up getting raw, that judgment. If you don't watch yourself, man, if you don't repent from that and come back home, man, ain't nothing wrong with being separate from all these people. We got something amazing over on this side of the fence that we ain't gotta share with nobody except for each other. You are expected to share this with your people, with so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. You are ordered to share this truth with us. But Proverbs 11:21, though hand join in hand, again, you're gonna think, this is my buddy, like in your cipher, he probably got a Bob Marley, tie-dye t-shirt on, and some ugly ass, dreadlocks, and you're thinking, oh, he's cool, he's down, he understands that he's a nice guy. And no matter how cool you are with some of your co-workers or people that you go to school with or people that you met, at a party or something like that in the world, though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not be punished. So like the wicked shall, would that be a name? The wicked shall not be unpunished, but the seed of the righteous shall be delivered. Now this also ties back into I'm just gonna paraphrase this real quick because we're about to run out of time here in a second. Happy shall ye be. It can dash our little ones against the stone. And this is the faith and the patience of the saints. You know what I'm saying? When we have that authority to do something so cruel, and all they can do is accept it the same way that we've had to. All they can do is endure that the same way we've had to. Happy shall he be when he can dash our little ones against the stone, against the rock. And this is the patience and the faith of the saints. Because they got to pay for their father's iniquities. And if you keep up with us in the classes, we go over this every week, especially around these times. We're trying to get our people to wake up, man. Bro, save your money. Go work all them extra hours, no sweat, and then bring all that banking. Bring all that bread back to your family. And let y'all live good off of it. You can do without some fireworks. I'm pretty sure, correct me if I'm wrong here, and maybe this is just an individual outlook, but I'm pretty sure that we'll survive without some fireworks. I can almost guarantee you that worse things have happened throughout the course of our history than not celebrating the 4th of July and saving our money and treating our people with that. I'm pretty sure there's some precedent for that throughout times, throughout space and time. I'm sure we can reach back at some point and be like, you know what? This was worse than us not gathering for Christmas and having people talk trash about you. Have people at your job look at you weird. They're about to have a cookout, I think on this Friday. I didn't even think it. I didn't even think about, well, this is the reason why they're doing it. But I'm pretty sure this is gonna be for 4th of July. They're gonna give us kind of a half day. Whenever you get done with work, come on through, and I'm sure there's gonna be, star and stripe plates and red and blue, red, white, and blue napkins and cups and all that. And that food is going to be cooked in that spirit. We shouldn't have no partakers in that. If your company's trying to have like a 4th of July kind of cookout type thing, don't go. Just don't go. Go to McDonald's. Pack your own lunch, maybe. You know what I'm saying? Take that other half of the day off, or just work through it. Just don't go. And I'm pretty sure you're gonna be okay in life. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Final answer. UPK's official stance on matters like this is you're gonna be okay not celebrating Thanksgiving and 4th of July and Christmas and New Year's and birthdays. You're gonna be just fine without that shit in your life. That is the official stance of the Lord. Absolutely. Because we were given our own thing to follow, man. And you do not want to be wrought of his judgment. Amos chapter 5 verse 21. I despise your feast day, and I will not smell in your solemn assembly. You ain't gonna give a damn about that barbecue. Just like you don't give a damn about nobody's birthday. You don't give a damn about Christmas and Thanksgiving. No matter how people try to dress it up and make it seem like, oh, we're doing this because because of love in our hearts, and God is all love, so we're all love. We're trying to give all that love to you. While they're gonna sell you drugs, while they're gonna sleep with your woman, while they're gonna molest your kids, they're gonna rape your son, your daughter, they're gonna fondle your pet, they're gonna drug your dog, like all types of weirdo stuff. But they're gonna dress it up in this cloak, this disguise that's gonna make it seem acceptable for everybody. This ain't got nothing to do with you, man. Nothing at all. Stay your black, brown, and red ass the hell away from their festivities. If you get the day off, take the day off. If they offer you time and a half or whatever, if you want to work it, work it. If they got you paid day off and you just want to go chill and, just by yourself, do that. Don't go to none of their barbecues. Don't buy no damn fireworks. Keep your ass out of Walmart. Just leave it alone, because you know what I'm saying, man. We got, where's it at? Pull this up, man. We got Leviticus chapter 23, verse 37. Now, if you go throughout Leviticus, starting around this area, actually before this, I would say, these are the feasts of the Lord, which ye shall proclaim to be holy convocations. 4th of July does not fall on any of our calendars. If you go to, damn, Salaki, I don't want to show. I don't know if we got any more copies of the calendars available. I know my rib got one. But 4th of July ain't on any of our calendars. It's not any of our high holy days or convocations. And that's enough for us to gather around. Juneteenth, realistically, ain't even something for us to gather around. That's supposed to be a black thing that was run by Edomites. It was run by Edomites. They made money off of us. Now, I predicted this a couple years ago, too. That they were going to start monetizing it and advertising this stuff in the stores. They gave it a shot. It wasn't received the best. Give that another year or two. They're going to welcome that with open arms at all these retail stores. It's going to be as gimmicky as they want it to be. You're going to buy into it. Oh, that's some slack. Now I know the other scriptures I want for that. But again, we are coming up on the time. I'm gonna finish this up, paraphrase a couple others, and then we'll get ready to close this out. Leviticus chapter 23, verse 37. These are the feasts of the Lord, which ye shall proclaim to be holy convocations, to offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord, a burnt offering and a meat offering, a sacrifice and drink offerings, everything upon his day, the days that he chose. All this work and energy the people are about to put into our oppressors' 4th of July, our oppressors' day of freedom. That's his day. The Lord said to, spend all the offerings of your burnt offering, meat offering. Bro, that fire you about to build, all them racks of ribs and burgers and dogs you about to make. Everything you about to sacrifice, for that day to live it up, and all the bottles that you about to pop. Keep that same energy, but for his days. For his days. And I remember what the other those other two scriptures were talking about that I was trying to get. Look these up real quick. Because don't nobody really want to, they don't want to give up. They don't want to give it up. They want to believe in the lie. They want to believe in that rainbow coalition, and they think that this is just gonna be an easier way of life. When just historically it has proven to be the exact opposite. People don't want the truth. They want that lie. I can't remember if it was the red or the blue pill, but we've been picking the wrong one for so long. But that's all we know. That's all they've given us. Those are the only options that we pretty much had from them. And that's just the picture that they paint. And then they get backed by Christian leaders, Muslim leaders. Again, with the spirit of that slave Bible. Certain scriptures that were handpicked just to make it look good. Just to make it look good. Make it comfortable enough for us to like your sister said, I believe he still is selling kind of to watch this. Yeah, if you ain't got one of the UPK calendars, man, get in touch with them. Ashar Gapan out there in New York, also 5,000 Ashar Gapan. I'm not sure. You might have to go to isupk.com. I think they might be selling them through that website too. Otherwise, I'll put them on blast. Just look them up. Also, Ashar Gapan on Facebook. Get in touch with that brother, and he'll put you in the right direction. We got so many other things like that that we can utilize to build up our economies and for the better interest of our people. Just we end up pulling all of our time and resources into our oppressors. They don't love you. They don't have your best interest in heart. And they just use you. When we have our own high holy days, so go through Leviticus. Go all throughout Leviticus. That'll give you some of the outlines. The only ones that are not mentioned in Leviticus, I believe it's going to be Hanukkah. The Feast of Dedication. We've got our culture to observe and to focus on. Time and energy better well spent for our needs, for the rehabilitation of our people, for them lost 12 tribes. Again, Cap Gatazar, get his books. I'm not sure if he's selling them on Amazon right now. Otherwise, get in touch with Cap Gatazar and all the research that he did from that 12 tribe lecture back in Chicago some years ago. I think it was like 2017 or something like that. It was some years ago when he did this. And still nobody refuted it. How would I say? They kind of refuted it behind his back and made like feigned attempts to challenge his scholarship. But nobody's like seriously put forth an effort to have that bad one. Because they know that you do smoke, man. Place an order for our calendars at where? Place an order for our calendars at. We're gonna finish that sentence. I'll give you a second. Otherwise, Salaki, I gotta grab one thing real quick. Salaki, bear with us. Bear with us. Okay, gear up, man. Gear up. Get ready for another set of stereotypical unfortunate events that's gonna make them money. If you so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, and you're gonna celebrate the 4th of July, you are culturally appropriating somebody else's traditions and customs. They ain't got nothing to do with you at all. We are the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, established in 1969, 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. We are led by Commanding General Yohana. We are not affiliated with any organization. We're going to get to these security announcements. The water for everybody that stay away is real. Yeah, okay. I hear you loud and clear. Loud and clear, Moroccan yes or no. Okay. We'll get that straight one day though. So with that, with the UPK security announcements, this is camera. Go. We are the ISUPK, started out at 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Both new brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They're to be saluted only. They're here to shut themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. It's like, just to make this faster to Adawan Maccabi, it kind of got your message, kind of the concept. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they're off limits for 6 months. They're to be saluted only. They're here to shut themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find it in Numbers chapter 18, verse 21, and Malachi chapter 3, verses 8 through 10. Means tenth in the Hebrew, ma'ashavah. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the Treasury Department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory, whatsoever amount you would like. So now if you have the Cash App, you can always go to isupk.com, scroll down to there should be another page that pops up that says donate now. You can pay on a card. If you have a PayPal account, you can fill it in that way. If you have a Cash App, get in contact with the school near you. For us, $UPK in Minnesota. You can make donations to our region. Otherwise, if you have the Zelle account, first name Israelite School, last name UPK, email ties@isupk.com. You can pay your tithes, you can make donations there. Upcoming holy convocations, so lock yourself. I know we got the mid. All right, select it. September 25th. September 25th is our next feast day. We got the Midwest Fire Weekend coming up. That's not a holy convocation as such or a high holy day, but it's a tradition that we keep in the school. And it's a great opportunity to meet all the brothers and sisters from the different regions, falling on Chicago. So July 21st to the 24th, you'll have the opportunity to come kick it with us live. Otherwise, get ready for September 25th.
September 25th, next feast day.
It's like it, and what's it called, if I may? The memorial blowing of the trumpets, like it kind of. I'm kind of digging how this is working. It's pretty slick. Yeah, the memorial blowing of the trumpets. So again, get in contact with the school near you for all the high holy days, all the holy convocations. Go to isupk.com, see about the school nearest you, see how you can, get involved with them, how you can travel if you need accommodations, or if you just want to make a contribution to it. Or see how you can go live with them or something like that. So you ain't doing this alone by yourself. But get in contact with the school near you, isupk.com. Eddie brother wants to be a trooper in the school. Start wearing all black. It means your boots, your shirt, your pant, your headband, and or scarf. With that, Amadian, which means stand. Upon Yakudam, turn face to east. We're going to say the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew. You can find it in Matthew chapter 6, verses 8 through 13. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Hayah, Shamka, Yahweh, Balakwatka, Taba'ah, Batazaka, Hayah, Aisha, Barakazak, Kawak, Hayah, Bashamayim, Natandanawa, Lacham, Kal, Yawam, Wasalak now, Kabawak now, Kasalak now, Tabawakianawa, Wala'a, Tabiyanawa, Panasawan, Abal, Hawashanawa, Bayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Pamalakwa, Waha'ala, Wahata Para, Laulami, Aman. In English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. Amen. For our prayer to bless Israel in the Hebrew, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Barak Manaw, Wayah Shalom, Wahabayah, Sapari, Barak, Rapa'ah, Magan, Hagan. Now, this time we can say the name of a loved one once. Everyone repeats that name once. If you're following us on social media, you can type in the name of a loved one, send the prayers up with you. Israelite School UPK, UPK Minnesota, UPK Chicago, UPK Milwaukee, UPK Rez, Benjamin, Jamin, Rocket Pot, Anna Lee, the McIntosh family, Raphael, Salakia, Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, the angels, the general, Commander General Yohana, the generals, the captains, the officers, the troopers, the students, the sisters, the children, Wadah Zayan, Makadia, Tarak, Kanagabar, Troop Kwanyala, our sisters in the school, Sister Wednesday, Sister South Dakota, Azara, Yapa, Makawana, Kawai, Sapara, Tazayat, all of Israel. On this real quick. All UPK, UPK Minnesota, Sapara. More time Christ. Hashem Yahushai, go out on month. In English, what we just said was, Lord, in the name of Yahushai, bless us and Israel in the school. Bless, heal, shield, protect our loved ones. In the name of Yahushai, thank you, so be. Blessed are you, Yahweh, King of heaven and earth, and all things living. Yahweh, in the name of Yahushai, listen to us now, right now. To leave us and curses, and punishment and destruction to the heathen that speak against us, thy prophets, the teachers, the princes, the priests, the Israelite brothers, and the school. To leave us and curses, and punishment and destruction to the heathen, and shake loose the treasure of the rich of Israel that refuse to give to the school. Force their riches to enter into thy sanctuary. To leave us and curses, and punishment and destruction to the Edomites and the nations and their drug dealers, court system, prison system, Planned Parenthood, all the governments of our enemies, Amalek synagogues and armies, Roman Catholic Church, the Pope, Islam, Christianity, Egyptology, militia, Ku Klux Klan, Aryan Nation, skinheads, Pasipomatazi, the gay movement, the lesbian movement, spies, workers of witchcraft, NASA space programs, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Wall Street, to open up the internet and the airways, cable access channels, and the radio channels, convict the spirit of any of that people that seek to stop us and bring swift destruction to all the heathen that stand in the way or try to stop us from broadcasting your words throughout the planet Earth. Let loose all the plagues, cause them to go to and fro through the earth and consume them. Let the plague shake the house of the thief and the murderer. Let Yahushua, Michael and Gabriel from down with the flying saucers, punish all the heathens that come up against us as we speak thy word. Cause it to be known by all that is the angels that have done it. Cause it to be spread through the media throughout the whole world. Cause them to shake at that company. In the name of Yahweh Shai. Thank you always. So be it. So, I'm men of Israel. Magim Shabbat. Magim Barak. Yahweh Shem El Shai Barakatham. Yazmatah. And shout out to the sisters. If there's any sisters in the room with you, you can turn and face them. Courtesy salute for the sisters. Men of Israel. Magim Shabbat. Magim Barak. Yahweh is like Yahweh Shemar Atam Bashim Yahweh Shai. Yazmatah. Pass this mix.
Islam, Israel. I'm Captain LeBron, the Israelite School of Youth Camp, the Commander General Yohana, inviting all Black Supporters and Native Indians out to the 5th annual Fire Weekend.
Shalom, Israel. Come to the Fire Weekend, man, in Chicago. Midwest Fire Weekend. You know how we get down. July 21st to the 24th, we're going to be in Chicago.
Under the Midwest Mosque in itself, Captain of 13,000 North Block.
July 21st, we got 12 children behind us with the scripture breakdown class, followed by Captain Tagaria and Captain Katazan with Cross the Line Radio.
You know what I'm saying? We got the Banshee Festival coming back. We got the election coming. We're going to kick off the election with Captain Ash, Captain Katazan, and Kazak Yad. It's going to be called Fort Columbus Camp.
On the 24th of July, we're going to be doing the Black and Brown Unity Cookout. Shalom, Israel, to all my blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. From July 21st through the 24th, we're going to be holding the Midwest Fire Weekend. On July 21st, we hold a scripture breakdown with none other than